America, happy Thanksgiving. We are officially talking sports with the 12th man. Special
Thanksgiving night edition. I know everybody's full. Sweet potato pie, turkey, ham, yams. And if you're in New Orleans, gumbo.
We are
Don't
ready to
fall
go.
asleep, stay up, and enjoy the show.
That's what it's all about. We got a loaded show today for you guys. Michigan sitting at 15. Can they shock number 1 Ohio State on Saturday? Notre Dame ranked ahead of Alabama. What? Fair, foul, what's going on? Plus LSU paying Brian Kelly $54 million. What? Penn State coaching shorts. Got to talk about that. Obviously,
hopefully he gets another job, so we'll have to pay him that. Like what's the boy name? At Penn State. Like Franklin.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. The 2025 Heisman race is wide open. Fernando Mendoza leading. We're going to break down that. We're going to break down the draft. The Packers upset the Lions. Basically, I don't know. We'll see about that. And Michigan basketball, JQ doesn't want to hear this, might be the best in the country. Uh-oh. JQ wants to hear none of that. But we're here. Let's get this party started. Y'all ready?
Well, if this is y'all first time watching the show, just know JQ hates everything Michigan. The Lions, the Wolverines.
All of it. Root for Green Bay hard today. I called Mike and said, man, good win, bro.
Tigers. Central Michigan.
Listen, I hate the AAA team. The AAA team was in Toledo.
Oh, anything. Don't get JQ any gifts from Michigan. The whole situation is a whole nother conversation. Hey,
but he likes the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh I like.
Let's go around the horn, check in on this Thursday. Thanksgiving. We appreciate you joining in. Obviously, we wanted to show you guys some love. We're pretty early, and we're going to do a couple of shout-outs. Shout out to the wifey for showing me some love with this Trey Young jersey here, the Peachtree version of that. Almost didn't put it on because of what happened, but that's okay. A lot of love, Mars. And this is for you, Rob. Obviously, Falcons were schizophrenic, but we had a good win versus the hated Saints, man. So sorry, man. I know that was against your predictions, but it is what it is. We swept the Pelicans and the Saints, so it's a good weekend for me, man. So anyway,
yeah, go and rub it in. I guess I gotta take it like a man. I guess.
Hey, man, I've been on both sides of that, man. I've been on both sides of taking both of those, man. So I don't talk a lot of junk, but you
come out the show starting a lot of junk.
Today I did.
That statement, how you started the show there, brother.
Hey, man, I got hit from everyone from the family. I get hit from Rob, so I'm coming out full guns blazing tonight, man. So, yeah, that's what we do. Hey, but we're going to go around the show. I know we got a happy Dallas Cowboy fan. Gary is waiting to talking about that. NFL is fantastic. But we're going to go quickly around the horn. We're going to get through all of Rob's 300 topics. I've got a timer, and we are going to have some fun.
We can do this.
But JQ, I literally have it segmented down to 12 to 15 minutes for each segment. We're going to fly through this. But, JQ, how you feeling this season, sir?
Oh, man, I'm good. Like I said, I've given up on the Bengals. I'm to the point where I want to be a top 5 pick. Fire everybody, start over. Just keep the people under contract, the good players, fire everybody else. So I'm not even allowing that to bother me this evening. I'm ready on Saturday so we can get this monkey off our back and show the boys up north that they ain't shit.
I'm just happy that JQ showed up today after all of the topics because, boy, woo, JQ's like, I'm boycotting.
We got to talk about the game, man. We can't have a show and not talk about Ohio State, Michigan.
No. Of course we're going to talk about that, but that first topic is not nothing I want to see. I was going to change my name from JQ to Rosa Parks. That was going to
Yeah, we're having some fun. Shout out to Duke. Yeah, Duke, appreciate you, man. Duke is one of my good friends as well. He's going to be coming through.
Yeah, we live, Duke. Thanksgiving night.
We appreciate that. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we got a lot of things to discuss. Rob, how you feeling this evening, my guy?
Hey, man, doing great, man. I had a bowl of gumbo today, man. That's all I need to say right there, man. That made your brother feel right.
I got nothing.
No asparagus yet.
Huh? What's that?
No asparagus?
Not on Thanksgiving. Greens instead.
Yes, he has to drop the line somewhere, Gary, which is very surprising. Hey, we're going to talk about this as well. And hey, anyone out there, we got a couple of sponsorships. If the asparagus sponsorship is still out there, we still need some Hennessy for JQ. That sponsorship is still there.
Yes, it's Crown. If you want to holler at your boy, please do.
Crown, I got to get this right. So Crown for
Man's
JQ.
best friend, the remote
There
control.
it is. And we'll get Gary's sponsorship for ceiling fans or whatever, or lawn work, whatever. We want to figure that out too. But I'm not going to talk junk about Gary because Gary, your Cowboys did what they needed to do. Nice win, and Dakota putting some work in. But how are you feeling this evening, sir?
I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling appreciative of my family.
Nice.
So many families are distant. They don't get together. They don't call each other. It's just another day to them. And there was one of our neighbors up the street, and I thought, I'm gonna go check on her and see how she's doing. Sure enough, she was home, hadn't cooked anything. Elderly lady, 80 years old. And so I went home, and Arnett had packed a big thing of food and Thanksgiving for her, and brought it up to her. We brought both Arnett and I walked up to her house and brought it to her. And the sad thing of it is, she was. The blessing was that we were able to do that for her, and we, in our hustle and bustle, we thought of somebody else, and it worked out great in that aspect.
That's good stuff.
Two nieces that lived within 10 minutes. No one even invited her over.
Oh man.
Oh,
I was heartbroken.
wow.
But a wonderful lady. And so we made her evening, and so we're thankful for that.
Gary always likes to bring that back into a serious mode, but yeah, we appreciate. We are thankful for family. It is ironic that all of the hate week is after Thanksgiving, but I do think all the rivalries. We're gonna thank you. Then we're gonna try to kick some ass on Saturday, which is hilarious. But it's always cracking us up. But yes, thank you, Gina, for the happy Thanksgiving as well. Let's get this party started here. And
Thanksgiving.
a lot too. Yeah, and all that fun stuff. Did I say Thanksgiving, by the way? Did I mess that up? Did I mess it up, or did I say that right?
You good?
Okay, I want to make sure I didn't mess it. I know I've been eating a lot and trying to get a nap in as well. Hey, really quickly, a couple things to follow us. I'm going to put the little crawl for you guys to follow us as always. Again, keep an eye on us. We are live. We talk about this. We are on Twitter at the number 12 THMAN Sports. I know that's kind of fast. Twitter at the number 12 THMAN Sports, 12th Man Sports. Follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Talking Sports, the 12th Man, and on YouTube, which is another 12th Man Sports. So let's kick this right off. The college
Bengals on the board, 7-6.
There it is.
They'd be up now. They would stop dicking around. Sorry, go ahead.
JQ, you can fire anytime you want, man. Let's do some college football chaos and some ratings debates, if you will. We got about 12 minutes for this one. So obviously, let's kick it off here. I'm sure this is going to be exciting for you, JQ. But can Michigan? How can they make the playoffs? So Rob, I'm gonna let you kind of talk about this, Rob. I mean, obviously they're facing number 1 Ohio State Saturday. I think is Ohio State favored by 10 points. I don't know if that's the case. Michigan is 9-2. Michigan.
That's what I think they're gonna win by too.
Yeah, Ohio State's Ohio State's obviously 11-0. Michigan's 9-2. They're on the outside looking in. I think for some way for them to even make this happen, they need to beat Ohio State convincingly, which I don't think
that's the only way they're gonna get in. They can't get in if they lose this
not
game.
Convincingly, just equaling out.
Okay, well, all right. Well, yeah,
that's not going to happen.
That's the long shot, but and then hope for massive chaos, I guess, and other things too. But go ahead, Rob.
Yeah.
You're tossing this, and I'm sure I don't know if Jake even wants to talk about this.
Yeah, I think if they find a way to beat Ohio State, which I don't think they will, but if they find a way to win, you can make a case that any SEC or Big Ten team with 2 losses will get in. So it'll be hard pressed for them not to get in if they somehow find a way to win this game, right? So they could possibly need some chaos, but I can't see a Big Ten or SEC team with 2 losses or less not getting in the college football playoffs, right? So obviously they have to win this game. I don't think it's going to happen. When we look at these two teams' rosters, I don't have a guy on Michigan's roster that's going to get picked in the first round. And the top rated guy on their roster I have is Justice Haynes, their running back, and I have him number 64 overall in the draft. So that's the end of the second round. So when you look at the talent disparity between these two schools, I mean, Ohio State is loaded. Even if you look at the 2027 draft, Julian Singh and Jeremiah Smith will be in the top 10 in that draft, right? And then in this draft, you got Arvell Reese, who I think could be a Micah Parsons kind of player. You got Sonny Styles. You got Caleb Downs on the defensive side of the football.
Caleb Downs is the dude, man.
So,
man.
I mean, Ohio State's they're loaded from a talent perspective versus Michigan. And then their second best draft prospect, I have them going in the 90s. So, I mean, that's a talent disparity between the two schools, big time. So, I do think I kind of think Ohio State needs another close game before the playoffs, though. And I don't know if JQ agrees with that. They haven't had a close game since week 1 against Texas. I think they need to win a close game, either against Michigan or against Indiana before the playoffs, right? To kind of get them a little bit more battle tested for the playoffs. Because all the other wins this year have been, they just dog walk people. And,
this isn't going to be the week for a close game, I don't think.
I don't think so, but I do think Ohio State needs a close win.
I think that'll be an Indiana game. Which is probably they're not going to blow Indiana out. Maybe in Michigan. Listen, they're going to try to go out there and embarrass Michigan on Saturday. That's the plan. Okay, slow that down. The issue, Gary, is the weather. Because I know it's supposed to be like 31 and some snow, depending on light snow or heavy snow. Because the strength of that Ohio State team is this aerial attack. So if you get a heavy snow, that could put a damper on it. But I agree with you. I think outside of that, they win by 10 plus points. To your point, though, Rob, I agree. Because at some point you got to have a little bit of adversity to know how to deal with it. And I think they're going to have that issue with Indiana. Indiana's got a good team. So if they can take care of business on Saturday and then face Indiana, I can't see them blowing Indiana out.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the only way I think Michigan even is a weather situation like this. And a few turnovers go their way, things like that. They're going to have to really ugly it up and weather situation in order to even stay close. Or we have to put it out here, and I'm a Buckeye fan. Or Ronnie just can't go out there and do the shit he's been doing the past 4 years because he's been all like this. When he goes to face them, he's cool and calm and ready to kill everybody else. But he gets in his head when he starts coaching against Michigan. So to me, he's one of the big reasons Michigan may win is because he may not be able to get out his own way because he has not been able to get out his own way the past couple of years.
Yeah. Have y'all noticed something?
What's that?
JQ was actually talking about this. He didn't want to talk about it at first.
No, I'm talking about the game itself. I'm not talking about that first topic was how they get in. I'm going to talk about that. I'm talking of course I'm talking about the game itself.
I love it.
Oh, it's just giving you a hard time.
I know.
I love it. Yeah, like I said, you knocked it out, Rob, as far as the prospects. And, clearly at this juncture, Ohio State is clearly more talented. They've got more talent on the roster right now than Michigan. And that's kind of what's going to hamper them, if you will, too. So definitely.
In a few more years, Bryce Underwood has the potential to be a top draft pick, but he's a freshman right now. I don't think we can expect him to beat Ohio State in his freshman year for sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's do some NFL draft talk here. Good job, guys, on that. Let's talk about, this is for you, Gary. Oregon tight end Kenyon, is it Sadiq, where he's projected. And he's the number 1 ranked tight end in the 2026 NFL draft, if I'm not mistaken. This is by Kuiper and by PFF. 36 catches, 479 yards, 8 TDs. He's 6'3", 245 pounds. He's projected to have a 4.5 40-yard dash. Elite blocker, receiver, red zone threat, versatile, can line up anywhere. Crisp route running. He's getting compared to being very physical like George Kittle. I hate this comp. Athletic like Kyle Pitts. That's kind of scary, but they say he's the most complete tight end prospect since Brock Bowers. I don't know. Is that pretty true, Rob? Do you think, Rob? Or what do you think about this?
Yeah, I don't know if I would put him in the Brock Bowers category, but I do have him rated as the 10th best prospect in the draft right now. So that's kind of in the ballpark. you just said it, Andre. Tremendous athlete, and obviously he's moving up draft boards based on his performance. Coming into the season, he's probably a late first or early second round. I have him number 10 overall and a number 1 tight end in the draft right now. So I think somewhere in that range. Obviously, there's still a lot of football left to be played and off-season workouts, et cetera, and things of that nature. But as of today, I have him going somewhere around number 10 in the draft right now. And I think he'll be able to help some NFL offenses right away, too. So I think he'll have an impact, as a rookie going into next season.
So let me ask you this real quick.
What was the size, speed?
Yeah. 6'3", 245. They said he's projected to have a 4.5
And by the way, for our viewers, I've updated on our Talking Sports with a 12-man Facebook page my top 64 draft prospects for 2025.
Let's
I
go.
haven't been doing just top 50. I've moved it up to top 64. That's the first 2 rounds. And I even put up the top 10 prospects for the 2027 draft. So y'all got to go and check it out.
Good stuff, Rob. What were you saying, Gary?
No, I'm saying
touchdown Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
What I've read is he'll go anywhere between 10 to 15 in the draft, is what people are saying right now. But we'll see how it goes.
What were you saying, JQ? Were you saying something about that, sir?
Yeah, my only pushback on it, not that he's not worthy or capable of that, but then do you get another team that has the same issue that Atlanta has, Cal Pittsburgh, like you're picking in the top 10, but you're picking in the top 10 for a reason. And it's getting the tight end the best use of that draft capital, right? Not that they can't help you, don't get me wrong. But if you're one of those teams picking the 10, you're probably picking the 10 for a reason. You got a list of like defense is probably shabby. Maybe you need a wide receiver, you know what I mean? Right. Something along the lines. Like sometimes getting a tight end to me feels like
abundance of riches. Abundance of riches, right?
It is, because you look at it, Atlanta Pitts hasn't worked out. You look at Bowers, he's not good. Nothing else happening in Vegas either. So yeah, you got that really good tight end, but you're still getting your doors blown off every Sunday. So
yeah, I think that's a good point, JQ. You can kind of go back and say like it could be a situation where, Lord have mercy, like if you're like the Rams and something happens, and then you can either turn that pick into extra picks, right? You get that top 10 pick and maybe you're like, you know what, I don't need a top 10 pick. Maybe I can trade down or use it for future assets. That's kind of where I think that can work. But I definitely see where you're coming from. It's like you probably aren't going to pick a tight end at within that top 10 pick, obviously, because you may need a quarterback. If you're picking that high, unless you're just in some insane situation, like if Cleveland gets up there and that's where they're going to be, they should not draft an effing tight end in that situation. They may be looking at another damn quarterback because that's how dysfunctional that organization is. Sorry, Cleveland. But again, that's the way I think.
Well, I could definitely see him doing that.
Wow, no touchdown Baltimore. He fumbled the ball.
I saw the thing come in.
Man, this is crazy. What were you saying, Gary, on that? You were disagreeing with me?
No, go for it.
Yeah. All right.
No, he was saying another dysfunction. They might do some shit like that, which is 100% true.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, where I won't kill him in this next year is, in the trades they made this past year, you keep me honest, Rob, they've got additional draft capital. They got another first round or second rounder this year.
They do.
So who's this?
The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if they have
traded down in the draft last year.
Yeah, so two, I can see doing that. But if you only got one that's in the top 10, I don't know if I take a tight end. But if you got one in the top 10 and another one later, maybe.
Wow. Good stuff. All right, guys, let's do this. The latest college football projections here. Who wants to take this here? Because obviously we got the top 4 kind of down: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia, whatever. So tell me about who wants to take this as far as the projections. Do you want to grab that first, or who wants to kind of lead off at this one?
Well, I mean, you gave the top 4, and obviously we can just kind of look at the matchups as of today. So you have number 5 Texas Tech against Tulane. You have number 6 Oregon against Miami. And you have number 7 Ole Miss against Alabama.
Yeah.
And you have number 8 Notre Dame against number 8 Oklahoma against number 9 Notre Dame. So obviously a lot's going to change here. Texas Tech, if they win the Big 12, they're definitely in. I think even if they lose the Big 12 championship, I think they may actually be in too.
I think so.
Yeah, they may fall to like 10 or 11 or 9, somewhere in that range if they lose. But if they win out, they'll probably stay right where they are. And then you look at Oregon. It looks like Ohio State and Indiana is inevitable for the Big Ten championship. So I think Oregon's spot is pretty safe, probably right in that ballpark. Ole Miss is going to beat Mississippi State, so they should be in. And even if Lane Kiffin loses, I don't think the committee should mess with that. I mean, they earned what they earned so far this year. Let them go whether he's there or not. And in my opinion, and then Oklahoma obviously has got LSU. If they beat LSU this weekend, which I think they will, they'll be in. And then, of course, you got Notre Dame. And in Notre Dame's case, you know, it's still baffling that they're ahead of Alabama and Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And now look, Notre Dame is just, as JQ said, they monkey stumped the last few opponents in Pitt and Syracuse. I mean, they look quite impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at their resume, it doesn't compare to the wins that Alabama has. And then, of course, Miami beat them in the head-to-head. Yet Miami was at home. I understand that. So it's still befuddling. Obviously, they're going to do everything they can to make sure Notre Dame's in that playoff. Miami is the one that's in a tough spot because they got 2 losses in the ACC. And if Virginia wins out, and I think if Pitt wins out, they'll be in the conference championship game, and they'll kind of eliminate Miami. And so Miami would have to get in as at large, which will make it tough for them, right? So Miami needs to I think Miami plays Pitt this weekend, so that's an important game for Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they need to go with Pitt and win that game to have a shot at the ACC, right? And that's not going to be easy for them to go to Pitt and get a win.
Not only do they got to go to Pitt and get a win, you got comparative stakes as well. That Notre Dame went to Pittsburgh and beat the brakes off Pitt at Pitt. So if you compare Miami and Notre Dame together, and Miami has a better, has beaten Notre Dame, that's baffling to me too. How we can have the same record and you be ranked higher than me. I don't care who, they kill me with those where you got bad losses, but I got a really good win against that team there, and we got the same exact record. But I think to your point, Rob, you're right, to keep the ACC title hopes alive, but also that they're at large bid. They got to go to Pitt and put on a show. They got to put on at least an equal amount of show that we saw Notre Dame do against Pitt when they went to Pitt a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
I don't think so either.
But they also got the benefit of a much better probably weather situation a couple weeks ago than what it's probably going to be in Pitt on Saturday.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, right? Because, and granted, some of my bias will always show through because, like you talked about, you're looking at record, right? You're looking at if you're 9-2 and whatever. And, it's just tough. I know, like, Georgia Tech took some huge losses. That effing sucks, but they're like 23rd, right? But they're, obviously Virginia's 9-2, so they're in the ACC, and then Miami's 9-2. So you would think those are the ones, but we should definitely be at least somewhere ahead of like SMU and Pitt, even though they beat us. I don't know. It's just an interesting situation, So because of record.
Yeah, and that's another thing. SMU's got 1 loss.
So
you got 3 1-loss teams.
Yeah.
So not only does Miami needs to beat Pitt, they need to hope that Virginia SMU to lose too.
Right. So it's just an interesting kind of, and I get it though. I mean, you're like, hey, you should have knocked out this team or whatever, but it's just one of those situations where, it's an interesting dichotomy to say the least too.
SMU is at Cal, and Virginia, I believe, plays Virginia Tech.
They do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So pretty comfortable predicting Virginia over Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
SMU going to Cal, that may not be easy, but I'll still pick SMU.
Yeah. SMU's been playing well, so it's just one of the situations too. But
one final thing, Drake. I'm not going to talk to Miami though. I'm a Miami fan. Everybody knows that's my second favorite team. But you had the ability to control your own situation, and you messed it up. So this, nitpicking, this arguing about being a 9 to 10, the cutoff line is going to probably be a 10 because of the SEC champion and the Group of 5 champ. You had the opportunity to control your own narrative, and you blew it twice. So
you talk about who?
Miami.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
To where I'm not going to die on that hill being so mad about it. You know what I mean? Like you had an opportunity to control your situation, you messed it up.
You lost at home to Louisville. Now you went on the road and lost to SMU. not necessarily a horrible loss, but you got to take care of business at home against Louisville.
Yeah.
And you keep stubbing your toe against Louisville. It feels like it's always Louisville. They feels like they get them like every other year. Like
it's matchups though, JQ. Sometimes you got squads just match up well against you. I mean, and the familiarity with the ACC. I mean, you are playing. It's kind of similar, like you talk about rivalry games. I mean, you're similar. I mean, I know you kind of retool each year. Each team is different, but there is some familiarity. And sometimes if this coaching staff sees something, hey, we're going to exploit this or little things like that too. But I hear you, man. It's like you think I got better talent. I got supposedly Carson Beck at quarterback. I should be able to have an advantage, but still some tendencies are coming up too. Like, even with Georgia Tech, I'm like, man, you guys should have beat NC State, should have beat Pitt. I mean, this was you knew this was happening. Are they looking ahead to Georgia? Who knows? But if you handle business, we're not here. You know what I'm saying? But you got to handle business.
Yes, you got to handle your business. But the Louisville thing is they recruit South Florida really heavily as their main pipeline. So when they go against Miami, some of them boys is coming back home.
100%. Yeah.
They motivated for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of those guys probably Miami didn't recruit, and they want to go in there and prove them wrong.
Correct. Mm-hmm. But you know that if you're Miami, so adjust.
All right, Rob, let's talk about your favorite person. I'm just joking. Let's talk about Brian Kelly here.
Yeah.
LSU sends a formal termination letter stating, fire without cause, a $54 million buyout paid over 6 years. Kelly must make some good faith efforts to find a job, not sit on his feet and do like this. I'm like, I ain't gonna find a job. If he
Come on, Brian Kelly, go to UCLA, go back to Cincinnati.
There you go. If he finds another job, LSU can offset some of that buyout, right? So tell me your thoughts. 34 and 14, in 3+ seasons and whatever. But go ahead, Rob. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, I think this is the right timing for this to come out. If you're LSU, you got to honor the contract. Bottom line, if that's in the contract, you got to honor it, right? And you want to be able to attract the best football coach out there on the market right now, right? So you don't want that coach to come in there questioning whether or not, if something happens to me, will I get all the monies or I'm have to fight LSU in court, right? So this is. LSU had to honor the contract, do the right thing, honor the contract, let Brian Kelly try to find another job, and you pay the difference similar to what Penn State and James Franklin, Virginia Tech, and that marriage that's taking place, right? So you had to get this out there. You're recruiting Lane Kiffin, and you don't want any noise about fighting with the previous coach going on while you're trying to get a new coach. Yeah, you signed it. You fired him. Let's live up to it and pay what you're supposed to pay.
Yeah.
He was 34 and 14. That's crazy. 19 and 10 in the SEC.
He's got a better record than
Hold on, Rob. You muted, Rob.
Venables still has a job at Oklahoma.
I can hear.
That's crazy. 34 and 14?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a better record than Brent Venables, and Venables still has a job.
Yeah, but it's also a culture thing, and you can speak to it better than any of us, though, Rob. That he just never really embraced that LSU culture, and he comes in there, he just seems like a prick. And he was like, "I'm gonna bend y'all to my will," as opposed to trying to incorporate himself more into the that culture. And you can win, but if you're not winning the right way, you can get axed.
And look, it's gonna be LSU's one of those schools you're gonna have high expectations, right? Particularly in the football program, and I don't even think the expectation is. I think it's unrealistic to expect any program to win a national championship every year, right? I know the last 3 coaches at LSU won a national championship, but they didn't win it every year, right? But I think the expectation for LSU is no excuse for a program of that magnitude not to at least be in the playoffs, right? And I think that's the expectation more so than winning a national championship every year. And that's what Brian Kelly could not deliver. Well, for whatever reason. He hasn't been able to deliver it, and JQ mentioned it. He hasn't bought into the culture of the program. When you listen to the Ryan Clarks and the Marcus Spears of the world, who's got the inside tracks on what's going on in the program, he hasn't really connected, even with the former players in that magnitude, right? So they definitely need someone that's going to come in and buy into the overall history of the program, getting those former players in the program, and to build that culture back.
Yeah, when Andrew Whitworth, I think they interviewed him, he said he called Brian Kelly to come try to talk to the team and offensive lineman. Brian told him to kick rocks. I said, You told Andrew Whitworth that? I'm like, come on, Brian Kelly.
That's not
good.
Andrew Whitworth won a national championship at LSU.
And he's a Super Bowl champion now too. Like he's highly respected across both college and NFL. You told that dude he couldn't come talk to the team because he was trying to help get him motivated and give him some pointers.
And he's a big dude too. It's the kind of dude you want to say yes.
Well, I'm pretty sure he told that shit on the phone.
Yeah, not in person. That was not in person because Brian Kelly. I'd pick up. What did you say?
You're right.
Gary, did you have anything to add to that?
Well,
Gary?
Rob, I had some questions for you regarding this. Was it his recruiting? Was it his game day coaching? What was it that you saw that?
I think it was the culture and the coaching. I think it was those two things. If you watch that LSU Texas A&M game, the one that Texas A&M just destroyed LSU in the second half, Brian Kelly looked completely lost. If you saw him at the sidelines, it looked like he didn't know what to do to stop Texas A&M. He looked completely lost, and like the game had bypassed him. I mean, it was unreal. And that was the night, of course, the next day he was fired. I mean, you could see it. You could see, anybody that watched that game, I sat through it, took it like a man. But if you watch that game, I mean, he looked
I'm a man. Come up to me.
lost. He looked completely befuddled. He did not have an answer to how to stop it, right? And get LSU back on track, right? I think he did a fairly good job recruiting. I think personnel has been there. I mean, you had Jaden Daniels at quarterback, and for a few years, and so he did a pretty good job of recruiting. I just think the coaching and the culture just didn't come together for him.
Sounds like Miami. Sorry.
And look,
good recruiting, coaching.
And I'm not sure if he's gotten the right coordinators in there too, man. The program at LSU, you used to be able to spend money and get some big time coordinators. I mean, even Ed Orgeron knew he wasn't a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, but one thing he went out and did, he went out and bought some top-notch offensive, defensive coordinators and helped them win the national championship. Same thing with Les Miles, right? I mean, if Les Miles can buy into the LSU culture, anybody can.
With all Michigan ass.
That dude didn't even speak English.
Oh man!
Where he's from.
Let's keep it going here.
Well.
Anything else you want to add to that, Gary?
No, that was good.
Good
Thanks,
stuff.
Rob.
All right. Why is Notre Dame still ranked ahead of Alabama and Miami? Is the question.
Because they own the committee?
Well, that part too. But I told you about it. It's because you gave another Alabama another cheap rank because we keep ranking Missouri. That can't be the team with a winning record at all. They keep ranking them. It's true.
You're not wrong.
Part of that is I think Alabama's got 4 of the top 25 wins. One of them is Missouri. And every time SEC team beat them, they get credit for it. And it's like, man, come on, man. You know Missouri wasn't going to win that fucking game. Stop it.
I wore this Michigan State hat and shirt just for JQ because he thinks Michigan State could beat Tennessee. He thinks Michigan State could beat Texas.
Said like that.
He thinks Michigan State could beat Texas A&M.
No, I did not. I ain't never said that. But to your point, though, that's part of the reason because of that resume.
They good in women's soccer, though, JQ.
Listen, that's that crazy talk. Maybe in basketball, but definitely not in football. I think that's part of the reason. But Rob said it. Listen, Notre Dame is, the school for it, which is of the Northeast for one, and they always want them in it, and they find a reason to try to have them put them in there. I feel like they're getting credit for good losses. Like we went to Texas A&M, we barely lost. We went to Miami, we barely lost. But Miami's lost to the SMU and
they lost at home to Texas A&M.
Sorry, at home Texas A&M. But they lost 2 good teams by 3 or something like that. So they're getting credit for narrow losses as opposed to good wins, which I guess they got one over USC. So you got to give them the USC win because USC was ranked. But I can see them being somewhat over Miami, even though I think it's stupid considering Miami beat them, just because Miami can't lose to Louisville at home. But Alabama,
you look at I'm going to go off teams that's currently ranked in the top 25, not if they were ranked in the top 25 at the time. Okay. Alabama beat Georgia at Georgia.
Yep.
They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Vanderbilt pretty bad by 16 points. I'm not sure if Missouri is still ranked, but Alabama beat them, of course. Alabama beat Tennessee. Tennessee's still ranked.
Yep.
So even if Missouri is not ranked anymore, they got 3 ranked opponent wins.
Yeah.
But they give them credit for it because they were ranked at the time.
Mm-hmm. Then when you look at Notre Dame schedule, how many ranked teams have they beat?
1, USC.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's no comparison, right?
Yeah,
so
Missouri's not ranked.
How do you put a team? I know they have no head-to-head matchups. How do you put a team with both have 2 losses and one has beaten 3 top 25 teams, and one of those top 25 teams they beat was Georgia, who's number 4 in the country?
Mm-hmm.
How do you put Notre Dame over Alabama? Now, look, I hate Alabama. If Notre Dame and Alabama plays against each other, I'll be in navy and gold all day long. I'll be rooting for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman, right? Like I said,
I want them to win, but I ain't going that. I ain't going crazy with that shit.
But if you're talking about being objective, there's no way Notre Dame should be ranked ahead of Alabama with only 1 ranked win versus a team with 3 ranked wins.
I agree.
Good
But
stuff,
you
gentlemen.
should be ahead of Miami.
Alabama. I mean, I know Alabama lost recently, but I mean, come on, man. They went to Georgia and won at Georgia. Come on.
Yeah, and Georgia's ranked in the top 4, so that should give you some type of ammunition for sure. Let's talk about the coaching carousel right now. We've got a couple different things happening in Florida: Ole Miss, Penn State, and LSU. And Rob, this is the point. I'm still tripping out on the text that you sent that LSU was prepared to offer $90 million. I don't know if that's true or not, man. That's crazy.
They got media outlets reporting that.
That's
These are
wow.
credible
That's interesting. Okay, I didn't know how serious that was, man. I saw that WBRZ2. I'm like, is that really true? That would be insane. Are you okay with that, Rob? I'll let you talk. We're going to talk about Penn State. Kind of tie that in. Yeah, we should say that getting rid of James Franklin was a good move because dude couldn't win it. He had all that talent, so that was a good move in my opinion. And we'll talk about your thoughts, what happens after Ole Miss, and what happens in Florida, because now Florida's going to be holding the bag like, what about us? What about us?
Well, I think Lane Kiffin is still the number 1 guy for LSU and Florida right now, right? I think the second guy for both of those schools is Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri. And I don't know what else Florida is looking at beyond Lane Kiffin and Eli Drinkwitz, but 2 names to watch for LSU outside of Lane and Eli Drinkwitz is Joe Brady and Kelvin Shepherd. Kelvin Shepherd is defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, and he's an he's an LSU graduate from the Atlanta area.
Nice.
And,
there you go.
Those are 2 names to watch. But obviously Lane Kiffin is both Florida and LSU's number 1, and I think number 2 for both of those schools right now is Eli Drinkwitz if they miss out on Lane Kiffin. For Ole Miss, if they lose Lane Kiffin, I think Eli Drinkwitz is there too, right? But if
That's
I'm
how you
Eli,
pull it out.
would you go to? I don't know if you leave Missouri to go to Ole Miss, in my opinion. I would leave Missouri to go to Florida or LSU, but I don't know if I would leave Missouri to go to Ole Miss. I mean, I think they're kind of on the same par.
Money.
Right?
It's a lateral. I guess the only reason I would do that is I'm not really familiar with what the recruiting in Missouri looks like, where if you're in Mississippi, you get the benefit of being right there next to Alabama and Louisiana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'll be interesting. But I John Summerall, Tulane's head coach, I think will be in play for Ole Miss. Memphis head coach Ryan Silverfield.
Saw that.
Ryan Hartline will be in play for Ole Miss too.
He better not fucking leave the house to go to Ole Miss. He better not leave the house to go to Ole Miss. Listen, I would hate
the head coaching job, man.
Listen, then who's left for Penn State?
Penn State.
I saw this, Rob. Did you see Brian Dable was on that as well as a possible?
I've heard that name. Bob Chesney, James Madison head coach.
Saw that.
Kurt
Terry
Signetti
Smith
went from James Madison, Indiana. So Bob Chesney's in the conversation, and Terry Smith, their interim coach, is getting some
Heard about
serious
that too.
consideration.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Penn State don't seem to have a lot of big names they're considering outside of Brian Dable, but James Madison coach Bob Chesney is one to watch too.
I wonder why with Florida they wouldn't go look at South Florida's coach, because I mean he's doing a good job. He's recruiting the area. It feels like he would leave South Florida for real. Now probably to go to UF.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about. Did you say that, JQ?
Maybe they don't want to go for another mid-major. That's something like Sunbelt Billy.
Uh-oh. JQ,
Yeah,
did you say this?
Edge to him than Sunbelt Billy too. If you watch him on the sideline, his interviews, he's way tougher dude than Sunbelt Billy.
Sunbelt Billy.
What?
Go
So,
ahead.
did you mention this, JQ, or I don't know if this was Gary
In
or
Arkansas.
somebody was talking about if for Florida, right? That they're like Deion Sanders was pissed about Mike Norville, and that would be interesting. Like this is not going to happen, but if Florida's like called Deion, like he would coach at Florida to kind of screw over Florida State. Was that you that were saying that?
I didn't say that, but listen, I would make that phone call.
That
I
would
would make
be
a phone call and see.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And they even
The ceiling in Colorado is here. The ceiling in Florida is here if you get the right person, just due to the stature of Florida and the recruiting that you can just do in state. Like, listen, if I was him, I would. You kept Mike Norville. You took Mike Norville over me. I got you. I would go to Florida and do my best to beat the brakes off Florida State every chance I got.
Yeah. That would be that would be like a
And the
great
recruiting he would get.
Go ahead.
Oh my God! Can you imagine being a Florida kid and then somebody's dad sitting there and Deion walk in? He's like, oh my! Just the power of that of dudes from Florida with their kids being recruited by Deion, which is why I didn't understand why Florida State didn't do it. And you see what's happening to them. The power of that is crazy.
Agreed.
Y'all think Florida State's making a good decision keeping Mike Norville?
Hell,
Unless you know that they broke.
That doesn't make any effing sense, man.
Yes, it does. If you don't got the money to buy him out and get a good coach that you want and give him the contract that he wants, then you got to do what you got to do to ride that out so that buyout goes down. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I got you.
They don't want to loosen that purse up like that.
Yeah, because you're talking about $100 million on a buyout and on the next head coach. You're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah, I thought they had more purse strings than that, but that's just me. You know, I don't know. Maybe I misinterpreted that. So
the ACC not giving them the money they want.
That's fair. That's fair.
My thing is, you would think so, but what's happening when you see Penn State pull the trigger, you watch LSU pull the trigger, and FSU don't. It tells me the Penn State and LSU got the money and the FSU don't.
That's fair. And lastly about Penn State, man, we spent too much time on Penn State, but you would think if you fire somebody, you would have a plan in place. Like, I'm still kind of surprised, like, whenever they fired James Franklin, they were do that. They're done with that dude, but, like, you should have somebody else. And I would think you'd have
doing worse.
But you know what? That doesn't necessarily mean that. It might mean that the person they are after and they talk to in back channels is at a big school that's competing right now, and they are trying to keep
That's
it
fair
under
too.
wraps.
Yeah, that's fair too.
What's happening with Kevin Lang?
That's fair too.
That.
That's fair too. Yeah. Let's really quickly talk about Jim Mora making another appearance, man.
He's wild.
What'd you say, JQ?
He's wild. That's wild. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was just. We're going to talk about that real quickly. Yeah. Jim Mora gets it. Gets ready for the Pac-12, obviously. So what are your thoughts on this? He leaves. Obviously from UConn. He replaces Jay Norville, who was fired in October. We talked about his experience as a head coach at University of California, UCLA, and for the Falcons. Yeah, man. What say you guys about this? And the Seahawks, excuse me.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. UConn is an independent in football, right? They don't compete in the conference.
That's what I was just checking out too, Rob. I think it's independent too. I was just looking that up as a matter of fact. So yes, they are. It looks like they're independent.
So I think that's probably the reason why you will leave here, because UConn is an independent. They're not Notre Dame as an independent. UConn is never going to make a college football playoff as an independent. Colorado State, you can possibly go in there and be a group of 5 team and possibly get into a playoff or at least compete for a playoff spot, right? So to me, that would be the reason why he would make that move. And the Pac-12, by the way, only going to have about 7 teams. I don't know why they call themselves the Pac-12 still, but
Pac-6
maybe
and a half.
They didn't join the Pac-12 either. UConn, which is interesting. They never joined the Pac-12. You know, so
I don't think UConn is in a football conference. I think they play as an independent in football.
they've been independent after leaving the AAC.
Yeah, which makes no sense to me why they're not in the conference. They need to join the conference. Why not go to the ACC and compete in football, and you compete in an ACC in basketball or something like that? Don't make any sense why they're not in the football conference. Now, if UConn was in a football conference, and I think Jim Mora stays at UConn. I mean,
that's fair.
I mean, because when you think about the two schools, UConn, Colorado State, I mean, if UConn was in the football conference, I think he stays. He's actually done a decent job there, you know, considering for UConn and football.
He wanted to go to Colorado, so he can go to Denver and go to the dispensaries and get high. That's all I got.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it. You had to courage to say it.
Listen, he got the oldest hair, man. I'm going to get high.
That's good. That's hilarious. All right, gentlemen, let's get through these predictions here. Let's have some fun here. All right. Let's kick it off here. So you got number 4, Georgia, at number 23, Georgia Tech. And you know, this is interesting because we got the rivalry game. Now, again, I'm pretty sure everybody in the mom is picking Georgia, which would be the consensus, right? And the only reason why I have a glimmer of hope is because I'm really thinking that Brent Key spent a lot of time looking at, you know, a lot of billboards about Georgia and blah, 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 blah. I seriously think they overlooked Pitt to get to Georgia, and I think they're going to be ready. But I would not bet my mortgage on it at all.
That was a mistake. You needed to beat Pitt to try to get to the playoffs.
I understand. I understand what you're saying, Rob. I get that. I'm
the
play
for the conference championship. That's
I am
the only way they want to get in.
Understanding person how it doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't do that. Why you look over this squad because you're looking at Georgia. But that's the only way I can think about what happened. So, like I said, I know you three will probably all pick Georgia. Makes sense. In my heart of hearts, you know. Yep. You know, it makes sense to pick Georgia, but I do think this could be a game where Georgia Tech could pull it off because they have been really, 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 really looking forward to this game after 8 overtimes last year, and I think they got a special surprise. But like I said, I would not bet my mortgage on it, but this is the one game where I think, hey, we're kind of geared up. Haynes Kings last year, I think he really wants to stick it to Georgia. If Georgia, you know, had a more of experienced quarterback. I know Gunnar Stockton's doing his thing, but this is the one time I think, okay, but Georgia Tech, fucker, you got to do this, man, because I really think they looked over Pitt, which is not what they should have done. But I know everyone's going to pick Georgia. That's fine, but I think we can get them. We can get them.
Are you taking Tech?
I'm picking Tech just because, like, all the stuff that's been happening, it's been like, let's get them, you know, because Brett Key started the season. He's like, for us to be number one, there's a billboard right outside his office, and he sees Georgia on there all the time. Now, again,
you gonna put your whole chest into that pick?
I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna bet my mortgage. I will put my chest, but not my mortgage. But like I said, I'm just saying, like, this is we can get him. I know it's at Mercedes-Benz neutral field. You know, I know it's gonna be.
Oh, I didn't realize that they're playing Mercedes.
It's gonna be So obviously, it's Friday night tomorrow. I got some friends coming in. We're gonna talk shit to each other. You know, he's a Georgia guy. but. You know, I really hate, you know, Georgia Tech. But I'm telling you, I know
this is kick him out after the second quarter.
I think Georgia Tech's best chance of winning was to keep that game in their own stadium.
I'm sorry.
What did you say, Gary? What did you say?
You're probably going to kick him out after the second quarter.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, hey. I'm not that mean as a dude. I may get pissed.
Hey,
but, I'm you know.
You still love halftime, Gary.
Andre, I'm going to say this. I would love to see Georgia Tech beat Georgia
I know you would.
as much as you would love, but I just don't see it happening. I actually think these two teams are going in different directions. I think Georgia's getting better.
Yeah.
I think Georgia Tech is kind of coming down a little bit from what we saw early in the year.
Sure.
And so I'm picking Georgia in this game. I actually think Georgia Tech's best chance of winning probably would have been to keep it on their home field. Georgia's used to playing in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's fair.
You know, quite a bit, and that gives their fans more seats and the more tickets to buy too.
Understood.
And so Georgia Tech. I mean, I still would have picked them if they were playing on Georgia Tech campus, but I think that would have been Georgia Tech's best chance of winning was to keep it in their home campus. Now, that might have been the game of the year in college football last year, Georgia and Georgia Tech. Man, what 8 overtimes? That was an incredible game.
Yeah. 8 overtimes.
I mean, I watched it. It was an incredible game. some questionable calls in that game, but
Absolutely
Georgia pulled it
questionable
out.
calls.
But I'm going to go Georgia in this game, and I think
Sure.
they're going to win. I'm going to go 33-23 Georgia.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go with Georgia because conspiracy JQ. They want to keep Georgia in that 1-4 matchup for them to make the playoffs. Because you know where the semifinals is? The Peach Bowl. Where's the Peach Bowl? It's in the Georgia Dome. So of course, college football wants to keep them close. So I think they're gonna get all the same way they last year. They're gonna get all the benefit of the calls. But I agree with you, bro. I just feel like Georgia's been really battle tested. They are ascending. I think Georgia Tech has kind of hit their ceiling. I think they keep it in the first half, and I think Georgia just pulls away. I think they just got better athletes at this point right now. I think it is 35-21 Georgia.
JQ, to that point, the college football semifinals is at the Fiesta Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Bowl. But if Ohio State's the number 1 seed, they're going to go pick to play in Fiesta Bowl. They're not going to play that game in Atlanta.
No, well, I don't know. Well, it would depend on who they playing, because I mean I did the drive the other day, so I mean it's a drivable from Columbus to Atlanta. It's like
but they're not going. If they playing Georgia in the semifinals,
they didn't want to play the Peach Bowl. I've been there and done that. It wasn't fun.
Ohio State's gonna if Ohio State has played Georgia in the semifinals, Ohio State as a number 1 seed is going to say, put us in the Fiesta Bowl.
Well, selfishly, I'd love to go, but that makes the most.
Come on, big money. Rob, good stuff. Yeah, thanks for being objective. Go ahead, Garrett. Your last one, my guy.
Dre, I want your score for the game.
Shit. My score. If Georgia Tech pulls this crazy win, I'm gonna go. If Georgia Tech kind of pulls this out, I'm gonna go 30-27. That's what I'm going. That's if Georgia Tech can pull it off.
I have 31-21 Georgia.
There it is. That's fair, guys.
I'm pulling for you.
No. There's no way that I would not go against all of those picks, because that's a very objective take. So that's just me just trying to have a little something. But I do think Georgia Tech will be ready for him. But like I said, it depends on at the end. Better athletes will probably – you're going to have some crazy coaching and some pulling out all the stops and, whatever. But this is big for them for sure. Let's get to the second game. Number 3, Texas A&M at number 16, Texas. So we've got the 11-0 Texas A&M. We'll talk about this. I'll start with you, Gary, right? Because this is interesting, because every time we pick against Texas, they always seem to do some crazy shit. I mean, it's just like Arch Manning is Steve Sarkisian drinking. What the hell? Texas A&M should win this, I would say. Maybe closer than what we think, but what say you?
Well, this is a tough one. I am going to go with Texas A&M.
Aggies.
In this one, 24-21.
Okay. Go ahead, JQ.
Ooh. I'm going to go with Texas at home. Arch has quietly been playing better. I think that Texas A&M defense can be had is the real reason why I think Texas pulls the upset at home. And I think that Texas defense has also been playing better. We talk about teams ascending. I don't know. I mean, I saw what they allowed South Carolina to do, and I don't think they were overlooking them. I'm going to take Texas. I'm going to take Texas 27-24.
Okay. Nice, Duke. We appreciate you. What you got, Rob? What you got?
I'm going to go A&M on the road in this one, and I agree. Arch Manning, 3 out of the last 4 games, he's starting to show some improvement outside of that Georgia game where they just got whipped. He's played fairly well, and that's the reason why I'm picking Texas A&M. I'm not sure he's ready to win a big game yet, right? I think maybe next year is going to be his year where he can start winning those kind of games as he come back and play again on next year. So I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I know they got behind South Carolina. I think that was a little bit of an aberration. I think maybe what we saw in the second half was probably more of what we think of Texas A&M. And maybe, you know, that's the kind of game that's like I was just saying about Ohio State. There's some games that some of these teams need. They need to go through some kind of adversity to move on in the season. And I think Texas A&M is going to grow from that. I think they're going to learn from that. I think they go on the road and win this game. I'm going to go 27-21 Texas A&M on the road.
Yeah, this is tough, right? And shout out to Duke here. He gave the same score as you did, JQ, for Georgia over Georgia Tech. He's going to pick Tennessee over Vandy. And he said that Texas A&M and Texas may be the best matchup for that. I'm curious about that, Duke. You got to expound on that. But it does feel like Arch has been battle tested, right? He, played Ohio State, got his ass kicked. You played Georgia. You've gone through a couple of these interesting, tests, right? So, but it does kind of feel like, do I trust him just yet? That's the thing. Why I would kind of lean towards Texas A&M as well. But it's just, Arch, this is going to be good for him next year, I think, for sure. Not only getting the pressure of being a Manning, but then also all the games that he's had to endure. He's had some surprising games, I would say, for sure, that I didn't expect. And whenever you're like, oh, Texas sucks, and they pull some crazy stuff, and then it's just an interesting situation. But I'm picking Texas A&M. I'm going to go the score 35-28 is what I'm thinking for that one.
Good game.
Let's talk about the next game. Here you go, JQ. We all are assuming that this is going to be Ohio State easily here. They're favored by 10. I think they're going to roll. I think it's a rivalry game. They may keep it close, and then obviously they're going to kind of pull away. I'm thinking 31-20 Ohio State. But what about you guys as far as go to you, JQ?
I was going to say 30-17 Ohio State.
Okay.
I got 31-21 Ohio State.
Okay.
I've got the Buckeyes 38-17.
Woo! Ass kicking.
I love it, Gary. Listen, your mouth to God's ears.
It's gonna be good. Bryce, I'm still gonna love watching Bryce Underwood, see him play too. I think maybe a freshman mistake or two. So, but big game, man. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
What was your score?
30-20. 31-21. You said Rob.
Mine 31-21. Yeah.
Gary, you got the next game. You got number 12 Miami. You
Man.
got number 22 Pittsburgh. This is some ACC championship implications. What say you on this one?
I'm worried about this one.
You should be.
Yeah.
I am definitely worried about this one. I'm gonna, Miami's my team. I'm gonna go with Miami, but my gut is telling me that that's not the smart bet.
Oh my God.
But I'm going with Miami 21-17.
I like it.
Wait a minute. That game is tomorrow or Saturday?
It's hold on.
I think it's Saturday.
I think it's Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Rob. I just want to look up something real quick.
I'm going to go with Pitt in the mild upset.
Damn.
I'm going to go Pitt. Let's say
26-23
Pitt.
12 o'clock Saturday, guys.
Oh, yeah. Listen, with a high 36, them boys from Miami out there playing in that cold-ass weather, I'm going to take Pittsburgh as well just because of the weather. You see what happened to the Dolphins. And most of them just ain't even from South Florida. Everybody from Miami just about is from South Florida. To Pitt to play outside, I'm going to take Pitt just because of the weather.
Give me your score.
Now, I'm rooting for Miami, though. I want them to win.
I'm rooting for Miami, but I'm trying to be objective. I'm going to go 24-21.
24 what?
21.
That's tough, Gary. I want to roll with Miami too. I don't know, man. I don't trust. What's happening, man.
I know Notre Dame hopes they will lose, so you don't have to hear about that argument anymore.
Yeah, listen. Right. They might throw some money the rest way.
Pittsburgh always plays them tough. That's what
I'm saying. Like it goes back to the rivalry stuff, right? You've seen them enough, and it kind of looks at matchups. Yeah. I don't know enough about Pittsburgh. They surprised me, and we were talking shit about them. They pulled some two good wins here. I want Miami to win too, Gary, but I think because it's at Pittsburgh, that's what's going to kind of lead to that situation as well.
You taking Pitt?
Yeah. I don't want it. I don't want to. I don't want to. It's tough, but I think it's going to be close, man. I think it's like a 27 to kind of 21 kind of game, something like that. So I don't think it's like a blowout, obviously, but that's what I'm thinking. I want Miami to win as well because believe it or not, I was a fan of the old school Miami too, but it's just circumstances. And I want Miami to win because I want them to get some revenge on Pittsburgh. So that's what I'd like to happen. But again, I don't know about crystal ball, man. I got questions.
Yes, you do. You know exactly who he is. Yes, you do.
Oh, shit. Mary
Mario Cristobal is exactly who we thought he was.
That is hilarious.
You know exactly. Just like James Franklin. You know exactly who he is. I try to tell you.
The thing about Cristobal, every year starts off like 6-0, then at the end of the year,
and then he plays Pitt or plays Virginia Tech or plays
SMU or Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville's the same way against them.
Last year he was at Georgia Tech. Andre and I was at that game.
We were. Yeah.
Gosh,
that's
don't
crazy.
Get me started on
Cam
that.
Ward was there. We're watching the number one player. We were like, what just happened? I was like, Rob, there's your quarterback. I was making jokes the whole game, and then Tennessee ends up getting that. But it was, it was hilarious, to say the least. All right, so we got number 14 Vanderbilt and number 19 Tennessee. Duke, shout out to you. He already gave us his pick for Tennessee. I still like Diego Pavia, man, but he's had some rough times. But can he do enough to go into Rocky Top Neyland Stadium to kind of pull it off? What say you, Rob?
No, I'm going with Tennessee in this one. I like the way
Nope.
I like the way Tennessee's playing offensively right now. Pavia is playing great too, right? I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Tennessee offensively is playing really well. I'm going to go 38-28, Tennessee at home in this one.
Oh, I think it's going to be worse than that. I mean, scoring-wise, it might be – and either one of them going to play no defense on each other. It might end up being who got the ball last or who might make the most biggest mistake. I'm going to go 44-41, Tennessee.
Wow.
I'm going to go 70-69.
They ain't going to play no defense in that game? They ain't going to play a shredded defense in that game.
Was that Syracuse getting whipped by 70? Was it 70-7? What happened?
That was listen. You're gonna get fired, brother, man. Like I know you're trying to rebuild it, but you
Fran Brown, bro.
Yeah, you can't go out there and do that.
No.
They got 7 points like in the last minute of the fourth quarter. It was 70-0.
Damn.
I got Tennessee winning 31-28.
Yeah, I've got Tennessee as well. We're all the sweep for that. Poor Diego. Last game we got number
What's
25.
your score on that game?
Oh, my score will be. I agree with JQ. It's gonna be high scoring. I'm gonna go like 45 to 38. Tennessee.
Okay.
Last game we got. Is this the Territorial Cup? 25 Arizona, number 20 Arizona State. Is that what that is? I was looking that up. But
listen, you know why you don't know the name of it because nobody gives it.
I was reading about it. It was like the Territorial Cup or something like that.
Oh, I never heard of that.
I was reading this. Yeah, hold on. I'm
the Pac-12 schools, and I have never heard of it.
It's like literally, whenever I was looking this up, there was like the Territorial Cup or something. But go ahead with the first out the gate here. I'm gonna look this up, so I'm not saying.
You know what? I'm just gonna exclude myself because I don't know nothing about either one of these schools. I ain't paying them a lick of mine.
I'm gonna pick Arizona State since Jordan Tyson has been back. They've been pretty good. Arizona's actually been playing some good football of late too. But I'm gonna go Arizona State at home. I think it's gonna be a close game, 30-27, Arizona State.
I was right. The ACU versus the Wildcat, also the Territorial Cup, and also known as the Duel in the Desert. So I was not wrong. That's crazy. Look that up.
We midlife, and we had to Google that shit to find it. Watch the football.
That's true. Gary.
I'm going with State 31-24.
Who did you go with, Rob?
I'm going Arizona State 30-27. Yeah, ever since Jordan Tyson coming back, he's been a big time weapon for him.
Yeah. And you pick JQ's like me. I don't know. I'm gonna go Arizona State 6. I know.
No, I'm gonna recuse myself because I'm just I'll be out here just I'm going with the colors. Like I'm picking a March Madness. I'm just gonna go with the colors I like.
All right.
Like
all right.
I don't know.
All right.
Where you going with this one, Trey?
Huh?
Who are you picking in this?
I'm picking Arizona State too.
Look at the Bengals up 12-7, 4 field goals.
Let's go.
Listen, they're gonna lose this game 21-15.
What's the score for the game?
They're gonna lose it 21-15.
Okay.
Let's get through these last couple things here. I'm going to give some love to Gary and the Cowboys here. Really quickly, Heisman favorites. I want to just put one out there real quick, guys, and we'll keep this moving.
I think I would have to go with.
Mendoza saying
I think I
Jeremiah
would have
Love.
to go with Mendoza, but I think Julian Singh, Marcel Reed, Jeremiah Love, Diago Pavia is in the conversation.
Yeah.
But I think I would have to give the edge to Mendoza.
That's so crazy. You know who I'm going with, and I just don't understand. Nobody gave Joe Burrow shit for having fucking Chase and Jefferson. Nobody cared. They was out there steamrolling people. Nobody said, "Well, look who he's got to throw the ball to, so he ain't gonna win the Heisman." I don't know why we have this problem with saying he's also completing 80% of his fucking passes. So I just don't understand it.
Joe Burrow beat like 8 ranked teams though.
Listen, but they never came out with the thing like it can't be hard. They never came out and said that. Is my point though. But that's the argument against and Jeremiah Smith. The other piece of it is the only reason why we're talking about Mendoza is because he played like crap in the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth against Penn State. So we had to bring him back on the last drive, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play shitty for 2.5 quarters and then come back and have a Heisman moment. Stop that shit.
Julian Singh, if Julian Singh goes on the road and throws for 4 or 5 touchdowns against Michigan this weekend on the road, I'm going to agree with you. He's probably needs to be in that conversation. Mendoza went on the road and had a big time game against Oregon. Yeah. And until we see Julian Singh do that on the road, I got to go with Mendoza. But look, I'm going to be fair here. If Julian Singh goes on the road and does that in Michigan, and he comes back and do it again in the Big Ten championship game, I would definitely agree with you that he probably should be leapfrogging Mendoza. But as of today, I got to go with Mendoza.
It's tough, JQ, because I think that this is where having that blue blood school like Ohio State it's tough, right? Because it's kind of expected because like it's Ohio State, right? Like, oh man, so. But I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying it's a shitty situation.
They're not going to give him that credit for putting them points on Michigan State and Northwestern.
But he should. And then Mendoza came out of nowhere. Like Indiana's coming out of nowhere, and that's the situation. Like, what the hell is this happening? And so that's where everyone has him as the favorite. But I do agree with Rob as far as like once Julian kind of puts up some numbers in the and I like Ohio State too, JQ. I'm not shitting on that. I just kind of think it's like more of the story of Mendoza. Like, who the hell is this squad? And they're 11-0. So that's the reason. I know you don't like that, but I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Once they beat Indy in the championship, then there'll be no question.
Wait, so what?
If they beat Michigan and Indiana, he shows out, then they won't. You're right. There'll be no doubt.
Yeah, there it is. Let's see here. Let's talk about really quickly through the top 5 QBs
in college football.
Yes.
I want to clarify my top 5. This is not how I think they were going to go in the draft. This is how I think they're performing in college right now. So I got Mendoza number 1. I got Marcel Reed number 2. I got Julian Singh number 3. Diego Pavia 4. And Georgia Tech, Haynes King number 5.
Not bad.
I like the QBs, but I don't agree with the order. But those would be my 5.
I like the 5 too, except I would just when it's all said and done, 1 and 2 are going to be swapped.
Yeah, good stuff.
So you think Marcel Reed's going to be 1 and Mendoza 2?
Oh, I'm sorry, 1 and 3. I'm sorry, 1 and 3.
So you think Mendoza falls to 3?
He might.
Well, you know what? It's gonna really depend because you got Reed going against Texas and that defense on the road too. So your point, Rob, is he might also fall himself further up in the conversation if he goes to Texas, given what we talked about too, and goes and beat the arch, hype machine in Austin this weekend. So they all got a chance to put it out there.
There it is. All right, let's keep this moving, gentlemen. All right, let's get through. Let's show some love here to what happened tonight on Thanksgiving. Gary, talk about your Cowboys, man. You talk about
I want to talk about the Packer game too.
Go ahead. I was giving you that. Yeah.
Parsons. He went to Green Bay. They got a good edge rusher, and he showed out 2.5 sacks today in a
He did.
way.
Him and Jordan
Right.
Love balled out.
Jordan Love's making some plays too, man.
Yeah,
Man,
right.
Dime. Yeah.
His wide receivers brought him out. They stepped up today, and we talked about Tucker Kraft and losing him and who was going to step up. Latavius Wicks really showed his whole entire what today. So you gotta give them boys some love too, because we've been questioning, do they have number one? We thought the depth was good in Green Bay, but do you have someone that can take over? And today he took over.
Yeah. That was a big win.
Who was he 87? So whenever I was looking at this game, it just brought me back to like the Packers used to have some badass wide receivers: Donald Driver, Sterling Sharp, and
Antonio Freeman.
Yeah, they used to have some incredible wide receiver talent. I don't know why they just kind of moved away from like getting ever since they tried to like punish Aaron Rodgers. Like, we're not drafting wide receivers. F you. But it just seems like back in the day.
Devontae, though. I mean,
They did. And what happened to that? What happened with that?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you don't have to go all the way to everyone.
But I'm just saying, that was one. They used to have 2 or 3. I'm back in the day, like you had, like you said, you start Donald Driver, Freeman,
too, wasn't it?
Randall Cobb used to be like everyone's like favorite, but they just have some talent, and so now it just feels like, they're trying to get there, but unless obviously Christian Watson, there's a couple you like, but you don't really know who the wide receivers like. Jamar Chase, a couple of like receivers. Now it's kind of like, same thing. Like I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, if shout out to the Packers. You keep winning, which is killing me because Matt LaFleur is on my radar as the next Falcon coach. But damn it, hoping that kind of doesn't go where I want to go. But anyway, congratulations, guys.
That's who I was looking for.
What'd you say?
Robert Brooks.
Hey, you happy with Raheem Morris now, man? You just bragging about a win earlier this show.
I didn't say anything about Raheem Morris. I said about the Falcons. I didn't say anything about Raheem Morris. Let's get that clear. Let's get that straight right about now. Let's get that straight. You know what?
Oh, man.
You know what?
Robert, have you hit a little of the hooch tonight? Is that
I'm gonna go get some more.
Yeah.
Back, Rob?
Who? Rob? Yeah. No.
Rob.
Don't get me started, man, because Raheem, you could fix this all with one move. You know what that move is? You being stubborn and trying to hold on to your offensive coordinator. You know that shit ain't working. Come on, man. Have some accountability. If you make a different move, different conversation.
It's the same thing when I see Detroit. Why you don't play Algier and Bijan together? The same way I don't understand why Detroit don't play Gibbs and Montgomery more together. Gibbs and play in the slot, so I'm gonna put the power back in the backfield.
Coaching right there. You have two dynamic pieces. Two.
Well, Zach Robinson might be going to Oklahoma State anyways.
I thought they hired a coach, man. I saw some news that they might have hired a coach, man. That was really upsetting. Let me look at this.
Oh, they did. They hired a guy from North Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no escape. So I was kind of pissed about that. I just saw the news, so I'm like,
well, there you go.
This mother sucker.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about hiring an offensive coordinator this offseason. You already have one.
I'm just saying. But I digress.
But as far as the Cowboy game,
there it is.
Right off the bat, we get the ball. Dak throws a pick, and my phone instantly rings. My best friend calls me, and I apologize for this ahead of time. He says, "Oh, fuck! Did you see that?" I'm like, my heart sunk, because I'm like, because you can't do that shit. Not against that team. Not against that team when they're like caged lions and they're up against the wall and at this point. And I am proud the way they battled back, the way they ran the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The play calling, the defense held up.
Yes.
We slowed the run down.
Yeah.
We did what we needed to do to win.
Yeah.
And Mahomes is just a magician out there.
Yeah, he is.
Some of the plays that he made, he's the one. He kept them. He keeps them in a lot of games. That's just Mahomes.
Yeah.
But it sure is frustrating when your team's up against him and it's in a close game like that.
And the refs. No, I'm just joking.
I was waiting. Yeah, nope. If you hadn't said I was going to.
Hey, Gary, but I also think kudos for how y'all handled the freaking Eagles, man, because that was another situation too, because that got you guys some confidence coming back. And now you're like, oh, we got the Chiefs. And that, I think that's a huge situation too as well. The team, you kind of walk in like, okay.
As long as the Cowboys are a team that as soon as they start listening to what people say on TV, then they fall apart. If that organization, this group of coaching can keep their heads into it and they can somehow get by and beat the Lions next week,
yeah,
then we've got – because, right now we're in the playoffs. This is our second playoff game. So now let's just keep it rolling one game at a time. If they
y'all are out of the playoffs of the season ends today still.
Yeah. Real quick, Rob JQ, before we ask this, I'm gonna ask this real question to you. So you were talking a lot of shit about Brian Schottenheimer, but now what say you? What say you about that hire? Gary?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you bro.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Oh,
I'm happy how he's coaching the team, how he's keeping them together, even in their losses. He's just doing his thing. I really like him as a coach. In fact, I really like him as the coach.
Because I don't think that was the case whenever the hire came through. We were like, Brian effing Schottenheimer. Remember that?
Well, yeah, because I saw him as offensive coordinator and he started going too conservative, but he's not. He's not playing conservative football.
Okay.
And I love his play action pass.
He's pushing the right buttons, man.
And then the acquisitions of talent at wide receiver with
Pickens. Man, I would love that dude to my
Pickens and Lamb, man, they're a problem. Those
man,
two
my squad right now. I would pay him any money to get him on my squad. I know he's a free agent this year. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Come back to the
eight. Dak's getting him the ball.
You can't let him come back and land with a whole bunch of money. Shit.
What? Yes, JQ. Yes.
Here's Magic City.
Magic
so
City.
Bad.
Keep Pickens happy. Keep Pickens happy. Keep Pickens happy.
I think he would get in trouble in Atlanta if he got a big contract and came back.
He'd have a chaperone, JQ. He would have a chaperone, and his name would be JQ Jenkins.
Listen, Steve.
You messed up right there, man. He gonna be getting
you can't let me be in charge. You can't let me be in charge. But yeah, sometimes being away from home is a good thing. I don't know if right now in life, if he still got some maturity things to work on. Hella talented, no question about it. Has always had the talent. He just has got to get it right up here.
But what do you know? If Joe Burrow comes back and the Bengals defense gets it together.
They quietly didn't play a bad game last week against New England. They just can't cover the tight end. They cannot cover the tight end over the middle. If you got a tight end on your fantasy team, they're playing the Bengals. Start that in effort.
Fantasy football advice over here.
Just saying.
Is that your strategy every week, JQ? You pick a third team tight end?
Yep. I picked up Hunter Henry because somebody got hurt and he was out there, and I was like, "Oh, he playing Cincinnati." Boop. Scored 2 touchdowns.
Oh my God. Let's get through some predictions really quickly here. You have anything else to say, Rob, about the game, about the Cowboys?
No, I mean, you talk about the Packers. Obviously, Jordan Love and Michael Parsons shined in that game. And you guys covered it from the wide receiver standpoint. And, hey, I called it again 2 weeks in a row. I predicted the Cowboys to win by 3. It was pretty close to the score, too. And so, we'll see by next week. I have to do some more studying if I'm going to pick them. That game's in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have some time to ponder on that one.
Nice.
But no, I mean, that wide receiver tandem for the Cowboys, they're going to be tough to stop offensively. The Cowboys can continue to get enough stops like they're doing now. Their defense has slowly been getting better here over the last few weeks. They're going to be tough to stop offensively. I don't know if Dallas can get to the playoffs because they almost have to win out because the NFC is just so loaded right now. San Francisco is number 7 at 8-4.
And 8-4.
Yeah, and they're number 7. Yeah. So Dallas will almost have to win out. But if they somehow get to the playoffs, I think they could be a problem. I don't think teams are going to want to face those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wrap this. We're wrapping this up. All right, let's get through some predictions, gentlemen. All right. So NFL, first off the gate, we got the Bears at the Eagles here, and we've been, Rob, I don't know, or Gary, I don't know if we all picked the Bears to beat the Steelers. Was that just you, JQ? But what an incredible comeback by Caleb Williams, doing his thing.
I picked the Bears to win.
Yeah, we talk about how good coaching can elevate a squad, and you just see what Ben Johnson is doing, been able to push all the right buttons again, like Brian Schottenheimer with the Bears. This is a tough challenge against the Eagles. The Eagles may be severely pissed off as far as what happened with the Cowboys. So I guess, what do you think? Here comes Caleb Williams coming in, hot shot against a team that kind of got a lot of picked on about getting him, not going to say embarrassed by the Cowboys, but just kind of giving up that lead. So they're going to be really ready, I would say.
I'm going with the Eagles to bounce back this week
and
win at home. I know the Bears on a winning streak. I'm going with the Eagles to bounce back in this game. Eagles defensively has been pretty good. Eagles offensively have not been as good as they have been last year. I will admit that. But I think they do enough. I think they win this game by the same score they lost by last week. I want to go 24-21 Eagles at home in this one.
Ooh.
Gary's picking the Bears.
I'm taking the Eagles. I was tripping. I fucking goddamn Mason Rudolph. I think it's gonna be the Eagles.
You want to get your own rule, man. You pick a better quarterback.
I just don't believe in
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Listen, I don't believe in Caleb Williams. I think the hype is crazy. It's just where I am winning right now, so I own that. That being said, I agree with you. I think the Eagles have a better roster. The Eagles gonna come in there super mad. I would just take the score down a little bit, 21-17, because it's probably gonna be nasty in Philadelphia this weekend.
Well, you know who I want to win.
Listen, I know you're gonna take the Bears. I figured you was gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
You let JQ trick you into taking the Bears.
There's nothing.
No, you didn't trick me.
No, he wanted to do it. He was setting us up.
2017, they're going to be mad for another week.
Come on, I need Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to get some touchdowns here, man. What they doing?
I fucking put Jamar Chase on the bench. I didn't even realize he got suspended.
Andre, who you got?
Oh, I'm picking the Eagles, as well. I want the Bears to, I don't really want it. But I'm picking the Eagles.
Eagles, give me a score.
I'm going to go 24-17.
Hey, Richard, I see that you're here. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I did say that. I stuffed it in earlier, Richard, too, if you didn't hear me. So, but again, we're showing some love.
Richard knows I'm speaking to him this week.
Richard, if you're on here, you give us a prediction for the Chicago Eagles game.
And give us a prediction on Michigan, Ohio State, Richard.
Oh, snap.
This
Robble, habitual line stepper. Here we go. All right, the next game we have the Texans at the Colts, and don't look now, Davis Mills. What the hell is going on with that? Texans whipped up on the Bills. They get
and their defense is playing well.
8 sacks in the defense throughout bullet versus 3 turnovers. Josh Allen was harassed all night. Whatever the hell jerseys those were. But now they go against a very talented Colts team with
touchdown Bengals.
Yeah, there you go. JQ's about to start watching. Let's wrap this up.
Why? No, I'm not. Listen, I'm superstitious. No, the hell I am not.
Wow, interesting.
I want to watch the rest of the damn year.
Wow.
Richard has the Buckeyes by 24.
That's not reverse
jinx. Bears by 7.
That's the reverse jinx logic. He don't believe that.
So
is he pulling a Gary Schaefer on you?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. There's some. I got to look this up, guys, regarding the Texans and the Colts, because there was a reveal that Daniel Jones had a fractured fibula. If that's true, that's pretty. I don't know about significant. I've never had.
Really? I haven't heard that.
There's literally, if you look up, that just happened. I was looking at ESPN. They're saying that he has a little, but he's still gonna play.
Yeah. Wow. Fractured fibula. Yeah, you're right.
So, should that affect this game and the movement? Because
Yes, it does.
I'm setting the stage, guys.
That means they got to start Anthony Richardson. That's like starting JQ.
Listen, you ain't never lied. And the fact that you took somebody that high up in the first round and your quarterback has a broke fibula, he said, I'd rather have you half legs instead of putting you in there for 2 or 3 for the rest of the season. That is telling.
They say he's been playing already with this injury. This is weird.
He's been dealing with it.
Well,
I mean, I give him kudos because you shouldn't have said anything, because now, folks, you don't want anyone to come after you, but man,
don't come after him.
That's kind of like, I wouldn't have said shit. I'd have been like, no, I'm good, which he's been doing. So unless that's affected his play, this is.
They saying he's still playing. Wow, this is weird. They say he's still playing this week.
This is. Are you getting a heavy dose of Jonathan Taylor? I would say yes. But thanks.
You always get a heavy dose of Jonathan Taylor because that's what keeps.
Well, but I'm saying what I'm saying, JQ, is like, now that you know what's going down, and 8 sacks, I don't think I want Daniel Jones to be taking that type of punishment. But you know what I'm saying? Even more is what I'm trying to get through. And they're not going to rest him because this is crazy. I agree with you, Rob. You would think they would kind of rest him and say, all right, let's win this game, shut him down for the playoffs, whatever.
If they feel comfortable enough to play him, I'm going to still pick the Colts. But if he doesn't play, obviously I'm going to go with the Texans. Texans' defense has been really outstanding here the last several weeks, and they're quietly 6-5 all of a sudden.
Right.
And but if they feel comfortable enough for him to play, I'm going to still pick the Colts. But I think the game is going to be really close. I'm going to go 27-24 Colts at home. But Houston team's playing a lot better.
Yeah, that's why I'm going the other way. I don't know if they get to that score just because how well that Houston team has been playing. I'm gonna go.
But you can mitigate that pass rush with the running back, Jonathan.
Houston. I got you, but if I'm Houston, I'm playing that well, and I'm playing Stingley. He's my shutdown. I'm gonna put him on one side, or maybe even have him follow Pittman and put 8 in the box and say Daniel Jones beat me with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Steiger's got the coach's hat. Going to coach get have the coach's ass off. He's
I'm
picking
taking Houston 20.
What's the score?
21-20. And listen, Davis Mills messing around and keeping CJ on the bench. Like, I know he had a concussion.
They said CJ's coming
back this week.
He says CJ's coming back. I just looked this up.
They might lose him coming back.
Oh shit! I would have told him out of abundance of caution, I'm gonna sit you down for another week.
I think that's big. With CJ coming back, I think CJ may be rusty. I'm going with the Colts now because of that.
They just played well. They came all the way back on Jacksonville with him a quarterback. He got a good thing happening. I don't know if I would have messed with it. I love CJ, but if I see the way he's moving,
I don't like it.
In that offense as the wide receiver, something I don't think that CJ struggled to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm going with the Colts because of that. If CJ is coming back, I think he's going to be rusty, man. That's just me. I'm sorry.
I've got the Colts 24-20.
Yeah.
What's your score, Dre?
I'm going to go 27-23. And I've got the Colts winning.
Yeah. JQ's the only one that went with the Texans. So
it's not a bad pick. But
going with that defense.
Yeah.
Hey, if Daniel Jones don't play, I would go with the Texans too. But if he's playing, if they feel like he's well enough to play, I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I know D'Amico Ryan's mean ass is gonna say, "No, I know he got a broken leg. We're gonna be in there rolling that ankle and acting a fool."
100%. All right. Next game, guys. The final game, we've got the Bills at the Steelers, and we were just talking about the Bills getting whipped up literally by the Texans. The Steelers getting whipped up by the Bears.
Whooping.
This is what you said. You don't know whooping what?
They lost. I don't know if I would call it a whooping.
Well, I would say unexpected.
It was unexpected, yeah. I mean, I just went over summer. Like, no, if you watch that Houston Buffalo game, they beat the brakes off Josh Allen. Like he got the cold tub probably all week.
Yeah. This is another physical game because you got Steelers defense. Are they going to be mad to losing to Caleb Williams is the question. And does Josh Allen have a lot to prove now? Because this is a game, again, we got questions for you guys, man. I don't know what the hell is happening. Now, they did pick up Brandon Cooks, who got released by your Saints.
Come on, man. Brandon Cooks like 93 years old.
I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not telling you what. I'm just saying.
And he's slow as Christmas. And he's short.
Oh, shit. Well,
and Brandon.
It sounds like me. Maybe I got a shot.
So now
You could have got me.
That's funny, Gary. Serious question though. Is it better than what they had on the roster? I mean, is he?
No.
I'm just asking. A question.
And I think, and I worry about that offensive line being able to stand up to that pass rush. Well, why? I hate taking piss. Well, no, wait a minute. Is Aaron Rodgers playing this week? They said he might.
Yeah, it looked like he's played. He practiced full 2 days in a row.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh just because I don't think that offensive line is going to be able to handle Watt, and they don't really have anybody. The Bills that is on the outside that if you say, hey, we can't play 8 in the box and let corners go one-on-one and be physical with their wide receivers who struggle to separate anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Steelers too. I mean, I think this Bills team is just too one-dimensional. To win these big games. I mean, if you can slow down, I don't think you completely stop James Cook, but if you can slow him down, then you pretty much slowing down the whole Bills offense right now, right? They have nothing on the perimeter. I mean, nothing. And then you go desperate and sign a 93-year-old receiver, Brandon Cooks, who's not going to help him, right?
And you shouldn't play him against Pittsburgh because they want to headhunt. And what's Brandon Cooks' problem? Concussions. You going to throw him out there for that Pittsburgh defense? Good luck.
Andre Reed's not walking through that door, guys. Andre Reed is not walking.
I got the Steelers 24-17.
Dermot Thomas is not walking through that door.
Nope. And better yet, you said
JQ,
it. Andre
what's your
Reed,
score on this game?
James Lofton, none of them dudes walking through that
James
door.
Lofton was a beast, man.
Where's this game out again? It's in Pittsburgh?
It's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, another reason I would take Pittsburgh. They play way better at home than they generally on the road.
Yeah.
Another going to be another nasty game. 17-10 Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if Baltimore lose this game, well, Baltimore just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
But if they lose this game, Pittsburgh going to really be motivated too.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, who you got in this?
I've got the Steelers as well. Score, I'm going to go 20-17.
We all have Pitt. Rob's score is 24-17.
That's what I thought too.
Hughes is 17-10. Dre, yours is 20-17. Mine's 23-17.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game.
We don't have a lot of faith in the Bills.
Yeah,
they're one-dimensional offensively.
Joe Brady, it's tough, man. I don't even know what to say about this, man. But like you said, they're one-dimensional. They're going to stack the box.
I don't think it's Joe Brady's fault. They don't have no weapons on the perimeter. I mean, I don't know whose fault it is, but it's the GM's fault. Somebody's fault.
Not drafting. Yeah.
If you don't have the personnel, it's the GM's fault. If you want to bench the dude you just took as your first-round pick that's supposed to be a weapon, that means you also didn't do your homework on him, and you got to bench him. Like it's one thing to suspend him for a series or a quarter. He was a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to let's wrap this up here. Let's do pick your last topics. Rob, I just want to do a quick shout out. Early look at the 2027 draft, man. You talk about just a lot of love for you, JQ, man. That's crazy. Jeremiah Smith should be the number one player no matter what team is happening. Then you got to look at there's some opportunities for Colin Simmons, the edge of Texas. Dylan Stewart from South Carolina. Obviously Julian, Sam from Ohio State. Cam Coleman, the wide receiver from Auburn. Leonard Moore from Notre Dame. There's a lot of good, amazing talent in that 2027 draft, as you probably know, Rob. If you do that look ahead, this is next year.
Yeah, you can make a case that Jeremiah Smith will be number one pick in this year's draft. If he was
True.
there too.
Yeah, 100%.
In 2026, but he's got to wait another year to 27. But yeah. If you look at that 27, I got Jeremiah Smith and Colin Simmons, edge rush from Texas, top two prospects in 2027. But Obviously, it's still a ways away, but it's always fun to look at those kind of things.
Good stuff. Pick your last topic, gentlemen. We got to wrap us up on this Thanksgiving Day. I know it's been a fun time as well. Shout out to my guy. Oh, my God. Jeff Camp. He is a Giants fan. Poor guy. He was excited to talk about my GM getting fired, and he was like, no, he should not stick around because you've made some bad choices. But then
he should be fired just for letting Saquon Barkley go.
That is another situation. But then he's like, damn it, I like Scatterboo and I like, Jackson Dart, but I don't know who's pulling the strings on that. So I'm like, I don't know either, man. So it was to hear him go back and forth was like, hilarious to me. But he absolutely was upset with him for letting Saquon go. But he didn't know if that's the owner or if that was a GM. And I was like, I don't know, Jeff. Man. You got to figure out some shit, man, because what the hell. So you can't get this and get, we got Malik Neighbors to kind of pacify you. Oh, we got Jackson Dart. Oh, it's kind of like you got 2 steps forward, 2 steps back happening.
Yeah, I'm good. We've been going for about an hour and 40, so I don't have another topic. I'm good.
Let's wrap this up. Any last things?
Yeah, let's go with our top 5 NBA teams.
Wrap it up. Do that. That's the last thing.
I know Portland ain't in it.
Oh,
hey, if you turn that list upside down, they might be.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
there.
Wow. Number 1 is a no-brainer. OKC, man, they've been playing like this without Jason Williams. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think it makes
SGA's
MVP conversation even that much stronger, right? He's right there in that conversation. And the Pistons, man, they call themselves the Nasty Boys. Man, the dudes, Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duran in the paint, and Cade Cunningham, man, the motorcade. The Bickerstaff then put together him a nice little squad there in Detroit. I was watching that game on a plane last night. I hated to see them lose to Boston. But they got a thing going. Number 2, number 3, I got to give it to the Lakers. Right now, man, when you look at the Lakers, they got a big 3. And the way Austin Reeves has stepped up his game, Luka Doncic is in the MVP conversation. You got to look at themselves right now as having a legitimate big 3 if they all stay healthy. And DeAndre Ayton is doing just enough of stuff that he needs to do: rebound, defend, get alley-hoop dunks. And Hachimura is doing that too. He's become a 3-and-D guy, a guy that can shoot the 3 and defend. So they got the pieces. I got the Lakers number 3. In Denver, Nikola Jokic, man, just unreal. At number 4, they saw that dude. He hit that shot from half court. He walked off the court like this is what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
didn't celebrate nothing. Just cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Nope.
And then number 5 for me is the Rockets. Their whole starting lineup like 6'9" and above. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My only switch is I have Denver at 3 and LA at 4. But that could be.
I can see that too. I went back and forth on that one. I really did. I can see that.
Good LA in there. Gary, know I'm talking to him.
Let's wrap this up. Appreciate
I'll put LA in there if you're a hater.
Oh, I'm not a hater.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am. I thought you said something else.
Can't lie on Thanksgiving, right?
Wrap this up, Rob.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in to another great edition of Talking Sports for the 12th Man. We'll be back at you next week. Stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook as well as where else are we on, Andre?
We're on YouTube. Yeah, that's good. That's all good. Yeah.
We'll keep you all posted when we're going to be on next week. So obviously a lot of college football. We'll be getting ready for the conference championship games on next week. Obviously, another week of NFL football. We're getting closer to the playoffs. So we have a lot to talk about that on next week. So stay tuned, everyone.
What room are you in, JQ? Are you in a different room, JQ? Because normally you have the flag, man. What's going on, man?
Yeah, so I'm in a different room because downstairs. So I was trying not to watching Duke in Arkansas. I was trying not to be an asshole, so I know I get loud. Let's hear Ryan Day. Let me get directly into it. Hey, bro. Hey, man. You better do this shit on Saturday. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did you have a Ohio State flag in every room in the house?
No, but like we got 2 offices. I'm changing this into like a media room to put a TV in it. So I was like, the office is bare, and so I did what I normally do. I got Pete Rose up.
We got to talk to Erica. Erica,
you see that?
You
I
put
got
an Ohio State flag in your bedroom too, man.
No.
Right above the bed.
That's hilarious.
Well, Buckeyes are nuts. I'm sorry. Let's get out there.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't want
hope
to
Arnetta's doing good. That's hilarious. We hope Arnetta's feeling better.
I'm doing this, bro.
Yeah, all good. That was awesome.
Now I want to hear it.
America, next week we'll see you guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving, guys. Be safe as you're traveling.
I
Till
appreciate
next
you
time.
guys.
Appreciate you guys. Much love. Have a good one.
Good night, fellas.
Good night.